All right. Good evening, everybody. So glad you're here. If you're here live, especially, and if you're watching the replay, I'm Dr. LeTa, doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. Welcome. This is our monthly succinct, like 30-minute Zoom that Dara Exeter and I do to really have a conversation around what are we excited about? What is laying on our hearts, our minds? What are we struggling with? And how can we move forward? How do we get access to the information that we need to live our best life? So super glad you're here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. So hopefully you can see my screen, but if you can't, welcome. So one of the first things I want to do tonight is go through one of the companies that is just so dear to me, Prime My Body. It has been around for about 5 years, but the mission, the revolution, has been around for a lot longer than that. I want to go ahead and start tonight by having all of us close our eyes for a minute and just take a nice deep breath in the nose and exhale out of the mouth. And I know that life can tend to be busy, and I want us to really just be present and have all of us get something out of this time that we're here together. It's so easy to multitask and be somewhere else. And I know that when we become radically present, there's such a gift. There's some medicine in this for all of us tonight. So just want to invite that transformation, that aha moment to you, if that's what you're looking for. So this company has a vision statement. It's called, "We celebrate and empower a global family to elevate health, prosperity, and freedom for all." And I know this is more important every day as we go on. It doesn't matter if, you know, what generation we're living in, what time period we're living in. I think that every generation can honestly say, gosh, we really want to make sure that everybody can thrive and live a functioning, happy, productive, healthy life. And so Prime My Body is part of that solution. They have this huge mission, and they pretty much create this education and empowerment through training, through leadership, through workshops, and through understanding that the main things that are happening in human bodies, in the evolution of health, is coming from a place of discomfort, out of balance. And Paul Rogers, the CEO, has been able to be a pioneer in understanding the pain that we are going through and what products can really help embrace and covet that experience. So super glad you're here. So right now there's a lot going on. Doesn't matter if you live in Ukraine or Russia, doesn't matter if you're living in, you know, again, whatever place you are in the world, there are stressors. We globally, for the first time in my life, had something happen to all of us. We had a global pandemic, right? And because of that, no one was immune to that kind of stress, regardless of where you are at. And so now that we are moving forward as a global community, 2 years later, we're noticing a major decline in well-being, in mental health, in body fat mass, in issues with sleeping. And so these are the things that I want to address this evening. So first of all, the power of hemp. You know, why am I even going to talk about hemp? Why am I going to talk about cannabis tonight? Well, I'm going to remind you, for anybody on this call, I always like to step back a second and ask myself, okay, do I need this? Who needs it? Who doesn't need it? Do I need it? How long? How much? You know, these are the questions. And the first thing I always ask myself is, does the body make it? Okay, does my natural body produce something that I slowly do not produce anymore? And we're talking about cannabinoids, we're talking about CoQ10, we're talking about nitric oxide. Okay, so your body naturally makes, you know, what you call it, substances, chemicals, hormones in your body. And over time, because of lifestyle, what happens?
Yes,
You
that's
start to
yes.
deplete them.
Thank you.
So I want to invite you to understand that I'm not talking about vitamin C tonight. Okay. I'm not talking about something that you might want to supplement because, for other reasons. I'm talking about things that you make in your body. And for certain reasons, you may not make it. And that is the power of hemp and cannabinoids. And I'm super excited about it. So I did mention mental health, right? So the last couple of years, we're seeing a lot of issues with mental health right now. And we need to address this. And one of the ways you can do that is with hemp. Prime My Body, the science team really pioneered with brain scans and imaging on NFL players, past NFL players. And it was profound. Forbes picked up and made an article. It was really, really impressive. So if you haven't seen that research, if you haven't seen the article or any of the videos with some of the NFL players, I highly recommend it. To really see a brain scan from someone who's never tried cannabinoids to having one dose and seeing a brain scan, it is profound. A lot of people might take supplements and not feel anything, right? You don't know if it's working or not. And that's the power of, especially if you're someone that likes proof, that likes that science, that wants to see, before and after. It's really amazing to watch what the brain, which parts of the brain's activity will turn on, will light up with just one dose when you feed that brain with the nutrition it needs, which is hemp and cannabinoids. So it is really, really amazing. I was been lucky enough to meet some of these players and talk to them, of course, and see the research. So one thing I have to mention, and I don't want to go into a whole conversation tonight, but if you do not know about this endogenous, this innate system in your body called the endocannabinoid system, I do want to say a couple things about it, because, we used to think, and I say we, as a collective, maybe in the 80s, the 1990s, that we thought the nervous system really was the master switch, right? But we realize now, in the late 90s, obviously now in the 2000s, that with this discovery, which I believe is the largest medical discovery of my lifetime, this system literally is the master conductor, or you can call it the master switch of turning on or off, on making on demand these different cannabinoids to make sure that you are in balance. It is brilliant. But the problem is, and you should be asking yourself is my brain, is my body making the cannabinoids that I need? And if not, do I need to supplement my brain with this nutrition, with the power of hemp? So I want to introduce, for anybody that has not seen the trilogy of products, which are amazing hemp-based cannabinoids, these are the trilogy. These are, I believe most people need them every day. Now, focus, that's the first one I want to talk about, because again, people are literally losing focus, right? So this is going to allow yourself to be present, to be alert, to help get that cognitive function up. It has CBG. It has a lot of different cannabinoids and terpenes in it. So CBG is a cannabinoid that we call is the stem cell cannabinoid. It's the precursor before it gets to make THC and CBD. And so it's amazing. I take it in the morning. It keeps me up, when I'm seeing patients and I'm giving lectures. Now, calm is for someone that has overactive brain activity, for someone that is having a hard time, calming down their nervous system. It is a really good cannabinoid tincture that has these other adaptogens in it. It has neurotransmitter activators in it to make sure that you're more balanced. We do not want an overactive system. We don't want an overactive brain activity. We don't want too much energy in your body, and obviously in your nervous system. So that will help regulate it so you can be even keeled, present, and energized. I call it this relaxed energy. And then Shield, it may go without saying, but Shield is your immune product. And I, feel very passionate about Shield. It is one of those things that you can't control what's out there. You can't control other people and what they do, whether they take their vitamins, whether they take care of themselves, whether they're sleeping. You really can't control those things. But what you can control is your own how supporting your body's immune system. And Shield has 7 Western herbs, 6 Chinese herbs packed with cannabinoids and terpenes. It is really, really amazing. It's hard to buy 17 supplements, right? Buying your vitamin D and buying your whatever else you're buying. So that's what I like about Shield. So I am going to, run through the product line for Prime My Body before I get into my main presentation for the last 15 minutes of this conversation. This is a revolutionary product. I can literally say with truth that there is no other company or no other product like this in the world. This has nitric oxide paired with CBD for the skin. Okay. And I have whole presentations, 2-hour presentations on this particular product alone, how profound it is for people. The first thing I always say to prospective patients or prospective customers is that, this is not a superficial product. How we look affects how we feel and vice versa. And for people that do suffer with acne or blemishes, that creates an insecurity that then really doesn't allow people to be present and feel confident and look into other people's eyes and be out in the world. This product has been a game changer. And of course, for people like me, I'm about to turn 50 in about a month. I have fine lines. I teach out, Qigong on the beach. I have sunspots. And so it's amazing to get my skin that nutrition, that knowing what hemp does, knowing what nitric oxide does. It has really, really been amazing. So I can't recommend Nox enough, especially if you have an issue, but more importantly, if you really just want to give your skin the nutrition it needs. It's profound. Now, you can't have a cannabis line without having a topical, okay? This is what I love about this product. There's two. There's a lip balm and body therapy. Everybody has aches and pains. I mean, that's just reality. You don't have to have a rheumatoid arthritis, diagnosis. Anybody could be using body therapy, and a little goes a long way. I've seen a lot of tins. I do a lot of reviews for cannabis products. And this one is amazing because it doesn't have a strong smell of cannabis. It has 1,000 milligrams. A lot of them on the market have 500. And it's just a well-rounded blend, and it doesn't stain my clothes. A lot of the other ones are greasy and oily. I've really, really have loved how impactful this is. And then the lip balm, there's a lot of lip balms you can buy out there, but I haven't found one that has the omegas, the 3, 6, and 9, that has that hemp base that is 100% natural. So if you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend it. So we just redid the paw formulation in the company. We're on the 2nd or 3rd generation of it. This formula has really gone through a lot of different testing with pets, with bunnies, horses, cats, dogs. And what I like about this one is that, at least for my dogs, they love it. I can just put it right in their mouth. I don't even need to give them a treat. They love it. And, if you don't know why a pet would need CBD, again, it's for aches and pains. It's for nourish the hips, especially for those bigger dogs, right? Those joints. It can help with hot spots. It can help with that anxiety when they get, with 4th of July. So a lot of reasons why a pet just like us would need a CBD. So I'm here. I want to talk about this flagship non-hemp reset program. But before I do, I want to introduce one more product called Core. This is the latest to our product line that we have. It's called Nitric Oxide with hemp. And I did mention at the beginning that, again, I'm not talking about vitamin C. I'm talking about replenishing your body with nitric oxide, with these cannabinoids, with CoQ10, things that your body naturally makes. And this is why this product, having all three, is such an important product for what I believe almost every single person on the planet. It's super easy to test. If you're nitric oxide deficient, you can go to your local health food store. You can order online the nitric oxide saliva strips. We obviously can test if you have a doctor, you can test in labs, but still very cheap. It costs like 10 cents for a strip. And what I love about this is that it's a drink. It's easy to take in. To get in, and it really, it's the trilogy. I can't stress it enough. It is literally my favorite product right now. So why would someone take it? Well, first of all, we know that cardiovascular disease is the #1 issue in at least the United States, if not the world. Okay. And why is that? Well, my spiritual side of me says, well, people are not in joy. They're not in relationships that they love, they're not happy. That's heart health, right? But on the flip side of that, if you look at the actual like blood vessels and what's going on with the conductive, trace mineral deficiency of the heart, we realize that with nitric oxide deficiency, when you're not making enough production, then a lot of things happen, right? You're going to have plaque buildup. You're going to have arterial, blood pressure is going to be high, could be low actually. So again, not a lot of oxygen is going to get to places, which means not a lot of chi, not a lot of blood. There's a lot of issues. So I don't want to go into this. I did go into it last month. So we're happy to send you the replay on this. And we have some longer videos coming out about core specifically. But, we say on the label, heart, cardio health, and CBD. What I do want to say to you is it's going to help produce more natural energy circulation for heart health. Okay. So it's going to do that. So a lot of athletes love it for post-workout. It's going to help rev up your libido. It's going to help with energy crash. Okay. It's going to help with, again, overall heart health. So I can't stress this enough. If you want to learn more about it, please circle back to the person that invited you to this video. We can share other videos, but I do want to get into my topic tonight, which is the 180. Now, I think it was about, 6 months ago, where the World Health Organization had a conference and they met in Boston. Okay. So not too long ago. And these are the current stats. 70% or more over age 20 in North America are overweight. Okay. So taking that number, 33% of us are 70%. Of the 70% are morbidly obese. And you can look at these numbers. Okay. We're spending over 50 billion a year dealing with just obesity and morbid obesity. Okay. And I don't know if you guys saw the stats on COVID, but obese adults were at stake, at risk, and also took longer to get over it. So again, we have an epidemic. Okay. We have an epidemic with obesity, and COVID and sheltering in place did not help. Okay. So why did Prime My Body want to introduce a lifestyle reset system? Because most people were sitting for 2 years. Okay. So what does this mean? Well, I want to let you know that 180, I should say this before, is that it is one of the most advanced lifestyle systems that I've seen in the world. Okay. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true. Okay. We know how distressing extra weight can be, right? So, especially if your self-perception is not where you want to be. And I really want to say that this isn't about a new product or new program. This is an opportunity to reset your habits. Okay. It is I've seen it set the foundation for physical well-being, but also emotional well-being. The 180 doesn't really address one particular area of health. It's really a full 30-day system that transforms people's bodies, that it helps you have foster positive feelings about yourself. It's based on decades of scientific nutritional research, and it does feature the highest quality of wellness supplements. So the last thing I'll say before I go into the hypothalamus is that I have seen it personally create help create the physical, mental, emotional transformation. The emotional piece is the piece I'm stressing. And these are critical for maintaining long-term results. So I want to talk about the hypothalamus tonight because, we have addressed it in the past, but I think it's good to note since we're talking about this program. So what is the hypothalamus? Well, just as a review from biology, it's the region of the forebrain. It's right below the thalamus, okay, which the thalamus it's going to coordinate both the autonomic nervous system. So it's going to help with the pituitary gland. It's going to help control your body temperature, thirst, hunger. There's going to be some other homeostasis systems. And then it's also involved in sleep and emotional activity. So take a look at that. Thirst, hunger, emotional activity, and sleep. Okay, that has a lot to do with if you're out of balance, you're going to start gaining some fat mass. Okay, so what can cause dysfunction in the hypothalamus? Well, the function of these systems can really range from food, we call it food mishandling, food dependency, substance withdrawal. Perhaps someone has gone through some sort of stress, like a psychological response to simple deficits. So for instance, when you're at the and fight or flight, when you don't know where you're sleeping or what, if you can pay rent, that's a stress or a psychological response to a functional deficit. If your hypothalamus has too much activity or too low activity, if you have learning disabilities, unfortunately, your hypothalamus and the function of it can become impaired with age. So as we grow older, we do need to maintain support to maintain optimal performance in your hypothalamus. Okay, so that's the first thing. So age could decline it. If you have some sort of substance withdrawal or dependency of abuse, substance abuse, if you handle food, if you have addiction with food, and then of course, if you have some sort of stress or psychological response to what we call simple needs that are not met. Okay, now let's go into other benefits of hypothalamic function. So the hypothalamus with weight loss management, okay, so it appears that almost everything that the hypothalamus does is related in some way to weight management and controlled weight loss. Okay, so most simply, if your hypothalamus is broken, right, food becomes increasingly more important, right, but also increasingly more unfulfilling. Okay, we end up never feeling satisfied with the foods we've eaten. We gradually eat more to try to compensate whatever's lacking. Okay, so from a metabolism standpoint, the hypothalamus not only governs your motivation to eat, it stimulates hunger and appetite, but most importantly, how eating is to be experienced and reflected on, whether it's been satisfying or not, and how deep your satisfaction goes. Okay, so this gives you an idea just how important your hypothalamic function really is. So let's talk about this program, the 180, and how it reprograms the hypothalamus. So it takes 20 days. It takes this long for the effects when you're in the 180. And I'm going to go into a little bit basis in a minute, for you to reset it. Okay. So if you can't get to 20 days, it won't be reset. I'm putting my hands up in quotes, reset. Okay. So it gives you this disruption. Okay. It gives you this upgrade, this reprogramming for the hypothalamus. And this disruption, it's going to affect long-term weight loss. Okay. So again, you do want to get to day 21. That's the most important thing. So as an overview, what does the 180 do? Okay. Well, first of all, as you can imagine, healthy fat burn and weight loss. Okay. So from the WHO slide, you know that people need fat loss with extra fat gain, with sluggishness, with low energy. We need detoxing. Okay. We're in the spring right now, which is associated with the liver in Chinese medicine. This is the liver detox season. We're going to reset your metabolism. We are going to holistically clean out your digestive tract. And again, this does not mean you're going to be on the toilet. Really, this is about cleansing, not a colon cleanse. It's more liver. And then also emotional, mental balance that I talked about, and energy improvement. Okay. When you're burning fat for fuel, you get infused with energy. What's amazing about why I'm talking about it tonight, we actually happen to be having a sale. So the program includes Lean and Vibe. These are the fundamentals, and the price is $221.12. And Lean is going to be a fat burner. Vibe is going to help with your metabolism. It's going to help you curb your hunger. It's going to allow you to just burn fat. Okay. What I love about this program, it's really simple. If you can, they give you obviously the kit, the guide is detailed, you get recipes, there's a Facebook group, there's support, it's really well-rounded, well thought out program. So I'm just going to run through some pictures because, these are actually, I could probably upload some newer pictures, but for instance, these are people that I know that have gone through the program, all different types of people, all different ages. So it doesn't matter if you are a 25-year-old or a 65-year-old, or, again, it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. It doesn't matter if you're on certain medication, where you live. I mean, it's really been amazing for people to shed, again, 5 pounds, 40 pounds, 60 pounds, over 100 pounds. Hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people have gone through this program. What I want you to, just touch upon is, who is this for? Well, this is my personal and professional opinion. It's ideally for people that have at least 5 pounds of extra fat mass to lose. Okay. It's for people that are ready for a challenge. It's for people that can really practice discipline or are willing to practice discipline, who can follow strict guidelines, because you will be successful if you follow the guidelines. Those people who have support. I really stress that if you can have a friend or a partner or a child, again, anybody, a neighbor who can know that you're embarking on this journey, it's best to have support. And if you don't, the Prime My Body family will support you, but you got to engage with us. You take a step forward, we'll take a step forward to meet you. Those who have mental space in their life, those who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, those who desire a reset, and those who feel toxic. And again, this is just a short list, but my experience with patients, with customers, with myself, with seeing, my affiliates do and other brand ambassadors do the 180, is that it is profound if you say yes to yourself, but you have to carve out some time for this. You have to carve out some space. There has to be some preparation. One of my favorite quotes is, measure twice, cut once. And that takes a little bit of honesty with, okay, are you ready for a change? Are you sick and tired of your habits of, eating the same foods, having the same conversations, having the same lifestyle, the same money in your bank account, the same kinds of sleep, the same kind of energy dip? And if you're not, and if you know people who are not, then they might be ready for this kind of challenge, this reset. It's really, really been profound. So how to purchase? Well, we are having a special. So you're going to want to circle back with the person who invited you to this webinar. And one other thing I want to say is, my tagline for my business is start with yourself. And Prime My Body believes the same thing. Changing the world begins with you. Most of us really care about, we talk about what's going on in the White House, what's going on in Ukraine, all the things, but what's going on in your own house? What's going on in your own body temple? What if we could really affect positive change in the world by starting with ourselves, by having better energy, by being healthier, by having more resources and making a bigger difference in that way. And that's what I want to, leave you with tonight, that Prime My Body is a global family that's growing. We are all about empowering people to live their best lifestyle so we can give our gifts, our unique gifts, in a bigger way. So I'm so appreciative for all of you who are listening tonight and watching the replay. I know that you're out there doing your part. And I will say that I am grateful to be here, to be a part of Prime, to be here alive during this amazing time, to really institute change in the ways that I do it. If you have any questions, please reach out directly to Dara or myself, and we'll make sure that you circle back with the person that invited you. And I hope you have such an amazing, blessed evening. Bye for now.